Okay. What is up, guys? Fahan here with Ashikin on the other end of the line. We are doing this vlogcast through Skype because, as you know, the Malaysian government is currently imposing a restriction of movement in the country where foreigners cannot enter the country and Malaysians cannot leave the country. As of the recording of this vlog, it is currently still in force. So we are going to discuss about the current COVID-19 situation in both sides of the causeway lah. Ashikin, don't mind me asking, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, still surviving.
Mm.
Today, I think it's already like the 9th day of the partial lockdown of
Mm.
the Movement Control Order, MCO.
And for us in Singapore, the government has actually introduced more measures to control the movement of Singaporeans. Basically, it's more towards keeping the distance and social distancing. So just a bit of background. Currently, as of 26 March, this is the statistics in Singapore currently. 404 active cases, 386 hospitalized in stable
Mm-hmm.
condition. Critical condition, still hospitalized, critical condition 18, and discharged 172 patients with 2 deaths. The government of Singapore has introduced some measures whereby, as of 23rd March 2020 to 359, all short-term visitors, no entry or transit in Singapore, including Malaysians. Only those who have long-term pass for foreigners, for long-term pass and work pass holders, they are allowed to enter Singapore. For work pass holders, only essential services like those are involved in transport.
Healthcare,
And
transport.
correct.
Okay, about Malaysia currently, okay, as you guys already know, the MCO, Movement Control Order, has been extended from 31st March. It has been extended until 14th March, which is just like a few weeks before Ramadan.
Yes.
Okay, so it makes that our MCO, I think exactly 1 month, because it
Mm.
was started on 18th March, and I am positive if the case is still increasing. I am positive that until Raya.
You may not know lah. And I don't know about you guys in Malaysia, but bad news for us in Singapore. The Ramadan Bazaar, which we have every year, has been cancelled. So basically, the first measure is from 800 stalls, they're going to reduce to 500 stalls to so-called start the social distancing. And now they're totally scrapping all of the Ramadan Bazaars in Singapore.
Mm.
And on that, the mosques in Singapore are closed indefinitely. So that is the sort of measures that has affected the mostly Muslim community in Singapore.
Uh, the same goes for Malaysia as well. As
Mm.
of today, a few states have announced that there will be no Bazaar Ramadan this year.
Mm.
And the malls here in Malaysia are still closed as of today.
Mm.
So yeah, I think it's the same measure being taken by both countries lah.
Mm.
Apart from that, it's a new news. It's totally new. As of
Okay.
today, two area in Simpang Renggam, Johor, has
Mm.
been ordered for EMC, Enhanced Movement Control,
Okay, what's that?
because from the two area itself, from two kampungs, two village of Simpang Renggam, they have detected high cases of COVID-19, which
Oh,
is
dear.
like I think 61 cases just from two villages.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's quite high. And what they do is they're gonna implement enhanced movement control EMC starting from midnight today, tonight
Mm.
midnight until I think April 9th.
Mm.
Until April 9th. And no one is allowed to leave their home. No one is allowed to go out of their house at all. It's
For
like total lockdown.
the two villages
The two villages only, total lockdown. The welfare department will give the basic groceries to every household until April 9th.
Mm.
And then there will be a medical base built there. I think like just a temporary, I think. And then police, army, civil defenses, and RELA will be there to guard the area. No one is allowed to enter both areas, and no one is allowed to leave both areas, and all the business are seized.
Shocking indeed.
It's a total lockdown over there for both areas at Simpang Renggam due to the high cases of positive COVID lah. So I am not sure if we fail to flatten the curve.
Mm.
I think the whole Malaysia will have to implement the same measure. I guess so. It's
So
not
right
impossible.
So right here in Singapore, we also receive shocking news whereby the particular kindergarten in Singapore, Sparkle Tots, is closed for 4 days after 14 employees, including the principal, is infected with COVID-19.
My God, 14 from
Uh,
one
yes,
kindergarten.
yes. So all of the kindergarten,
Oh my God.
all the branches
Mm.
are closed basically. And not only that, Singapore is also expanding the contact tracing teams to prepare for surges in cases. There has been a surge in case, 52 new 19 COVID cases in Singapore. And then not only that, the government of Singapore has also put up measures, extra measures to limit gatherings to only 10 people or fewer. So bars, entertainment outlets like nightclub, disco, cinema, karaoke, all have to close their doors. Malls, museums, groups of 10 people cannot exit. And then after that, all tuition closed, religious services and congregants suspended, and all events, mass gathering, exhibition, festivals, concert, sporting events, and trade fairs are all suspended, cancelled.
Yeah, the same goes for Malaysia actually.
And
Since
then,
we are having this partial lockdown, right? There's
mm,
no gathering.
mm,
Yeah.
then one more thing, private celebration like birthday, wedding, funeral, funeral and wake, limited to only 10 people at a time. So you can imagine how many occasions have to be cancelled Yeah, so it's very, very disheartening to hear this news. It's like every day, all of the measures, the news coming out, that is so disheartening, it's so frustrating, and I don't know, I feel sad when I, hear about this news actually. I don't know about you
Me too. It's disheartening, but it's a sacrifice that all of us must do. It's our shared responsibility
Mm,
to contain the disease from further spread.
mm,
Because as we know, even without the mass gathering, we are having high chance to get infected.
mm,
So what if we have a mass gathering? Then it's probably obviously in one people in those mass gathering is positive, then a lot more people be infected. So it's a must lah. It's a must to cancel or to postpone all of the occasions um, to prevent the virus from spreading.
I don't know about you, but I've been seeing like a lot of posts, a lot of pictures, a lot of videos from social media where people in Malaysia, they're still not really serious about the recession of women order. That people are
Uh,
still going back to the kampung. They're still going to the market, bringing their family along. People inside the car, bringing in the highway with their families, don't know going where. What do you make of that?
the partial lockdown, the MCO, we can say that it's having a few phases lah. As of now, two phases. One is the first MCO, and right now is the extended one, right? During like the earlier days of the MCO, people are still not getting it. People are still getting the hang of it. Like they are still like figuring out what are the do's and don'ts. A lot of them are still taking their kids to the mall for shopping. A lot of them are still doing their jogging right now
Mm,
at their housing area. Maybe because they think that first they are not properly educated. They do not properly understand what is the risk, and maybe they thought that they are invincible, that they might not get it. I think a lot of us think like that. I might not get it. So that's the mentality of the people lah. But right now, I think after a lot of comments
mm,
and the authorities has been right now police and army are
mm,
guarding the area. And I think for army, they are guarding the hotspot area lah, the area with high cases. And for
mm,
the police, they are doing like frequent rounds to check whether or not people are complying. There are
mm,
also statistic are
mm,
out for the area and for the states which are the more compliant or not for
mm,
the MCO, the movement control order. In addition to that, the mall and the supermarket management also have make it more stringent. So
mm,
before this, you can bring your kids. There's no social distancing tape. There are no matter how many people can enter the supermarket. But right now, as of what I know, certain supermarket already limited the number of people who can be there inside the supermarket at one time. And
Mm.
apart from that, there are also like social
Dan yang
distancing tape
kelima,
at the queuing section. And then they are also taking the temperature of
Mm.
every customer. So a lot of additional safety measure has been taken as of today lah.
Yeah, I think in Singapore also, you can see the shopping mall, the fast food establishments, the restaurant, all have put measures for social distancing. Like they actually on the chair, they put a
Mm,
tape with a cross to
mm,
like indicate that you're not allowed to sit here and to keep your distance.
mm, mm,
And then after that, certain institutions like banks, government offices, government buildings, before you enter, you have to take your temperature. Yeah,
mm,
but for Singapore, almost everything is still business as usual. People are still going to malls, are still free to walk. They can still drive their car, take public transport. But one particular news that I just received yesterday, which is the Transport Minister of Singapore, Khaw Boon Wan, he said to not talk inside the MRT and
mm.
the bus, and also to keep our distance in the train. But for me, I find it like impossible lah, because the train in the morning when you want to go to work and finish work is packed, like this. So I don't know how people are going to adhere to the social distancing on public transport.
Additionally, about the movement control, apparently they have closed a few tolls and highways, if I'm not mistaken. I think to prevent people from, travel, maybe like going back to their kampong or from
Mm.
kampong going back to KL. I'm not sure. The safety measure has been heightened, has been increased.
Okay, so the day before yesterday, right? The Prime Minister of Malaysia, Muhyiddin Yassin, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, he announced that the lockdown will be extended until April when? April 16th, is it?
April 14.
April 14th.
14.
So, how do you make of that news? What do you think of that, in
I
your
think
opinion?
in I think it is a necessary measure lah, because
Mm.
as of now we can observe that the case continue increasing day by day,
Mm.
as well as the death case. So as for today, it's already 23 death in
Mm.
Malaysia due to COVID.
Mm.
273 cases only for today. It's a good measure, but I think whatever the measure that they has taken, like the police surrounding all the housing area, they need to take a more aggressive measure lah. Instead
Mm.
of verbal warning, like I think all of us already know what's happening here in Malaysia. So
Mm.
after verbal warning, I think we need to step up the game lah. Just issue the summon, just issue the fine lah. No need to talk much, no need to do additional work. Just give the fine, give the summon. Then those people will not dare to to violate the instruction anymore lah. Because it is an additional task for the police and the army.
Mm.
Uh, so instead of only issuing like verbal warning here and there, rounding here and there, wasting their time, their precious time, better they just issue the fine. So that these people, you talk a lot also they cannot understand, right? Just give them a fine lah.
Mm. For Singapore, right? Those who are under home quarantine because they returned overseas recently and then they are supposed to
Mhm.
stay at home for 14 days, right? You will actually get fined if you were to leave your house.
But who
Uh,
will know if they are leaving the house? Is there anyone guarding them?
Somehow, I don't know lah. I don't know how, but they can somehow track your movement. They know that you leave the house. Because there's
Wow.
this one guy who posts a photo of himself on Facebook. He was supposed to be on stay home notice. He was supposed to be at home. He's not supposed to leave. But then because he went out, he eat bakute. In my personal opinion, he stupidly go and post the photo on Facebook. People actually caught him. And then he was actually fined.
So that's the measure that we have to take in Malaysia lah. You just have to straightly find those people lah. Those people
Mm.
who jogging. I mean, like, oh my god, they do not take the instruction seriously lah. Our prime minister have to beg all of us to just hashtag stay at home, hashtag flatten the curve, but some of them just do not understand. That is one concern. The second concern is those foreigners and refugees also do not take the instruction seriously, or maybe they do not have the enough information about the current situation in Malaysia lah. So and if you can see there is like a viral thing on Facebook about the wet market
Yeah, correct.
in Penang.
Yes.
Despite of the MCO, they are still going to the wet market just like usual days, no social distancing. And a lot of people who went there are older people, which are at more risk to contract with the disease. So I think the authority should just shut the wet market, just do something drastic lah. If the wet market is still open, then those people will still be there.
Okay, now we come back to you lah. How are you like managing yourself? Like yourself because you're far away from your family, yeah, and you're
Uh,
currently
okay, so since I'm staying inside the hotel alone with no windows, so I do not know the current weather, is it raining or what or out there. And I'm lacking vitamin D as of now. Oh my god, I really need vitamin D. Okay, so for food, I just order delivery services lah. Uh,
Mm.
so that's how I cope. As of my laundry, I do my laundry.
How about your family? How are they doing?
Alhamdulillah, so far so good.
Mm.
All of my family are in KL except me.
Mm.
We just regularly like video call with them lah.
I'm sorry to hear that you're far away from your family lah. Yeah.
It's okay. It's a worth it thingy that I do. It's a sacrifice because, as we all know, the government actually asked us not to go back to our hometown.
Mm.
Because back in our hometown, there will be our parents, which are
Mm.
more susceptible, and babies. If you have like nieces or nephews, will be having like babies inside your house. So, those group of people that are susceptible because their immune system is still low. So it's not that strong, right? Their immune system is not that strong. So, it's a sacrifice that I made lah. I mean, like this is nothing compared to our frontliners lah.
I mean, here in Singapore, I don't know about Malaysia side, but they are really working non-stop.
The
To
same goes in Malaysia.
so they are like clocking crazy hours, working overtime. Their leave
Yeah.
all kena block, all got blocked. They are not allowed to take leave, and then everybody is on overdrive. Morale is very low. But at the same time, I've seen in Facebook, people are donating food. People are giving them well wishes, giving them tokens of appreciation like snacks. And I'm glad there is a lot of public support for our frontliners. Heartened to see that our community has came together to give support, to give emotional support to these frontliners, to our frontliners lah. It's definitely not easy lah because as you know, I'm involved in healthcare myself and yeah, is morale is definitely low lah. Everybody just wants to get this done and over with, and yeah, I hope that the COVID-19 will subside. That's all I can say lah. I mean, I cannot
Uh,
reveal about where I work and all that. But that's all I can say lah.
Hang in there, be strong, keep moving. Okay, so
Mm.
the same goes for the frontliners in Malaysia too. They are, in addition to that, they are having a lack of PPE for themselves. A lot of them are making their own PPE. In addition to that, our community also do like food donations, like bring the foods to the hospital. And as you can see, our Pemaisuri Agong also hand cook. She cook the meal herself for the hospital staff. Di sebalik kesusahan ada kesenangan. Something like that lah. I always pegang like that lah. I always hold into that principle lah. But you know, today's news, I'm not sure how many of them working in Istana Negara got infected
Mm.
by COVID-19. I hope that the rest of the staff and warga Istana Negara is okay lah. It's quite worrying lah if our Agong and our Pemaisuri Agong especially is there, you know, they are there.
Personally, I don't know about you. I have been trying to remain optimistic, but the number of cases keep rising and rising and rising. And it's definitely worrying. I'm hoping for the best, but at the same time, looking at it realistically, it may get worse. I'm not sure, but I'm just, but right now I'm still holding on to being optimistic lah. Hopefully we will get through this. Yeah.
Inshallah, there is one report by JP Morgan just published a few days ago. According to the report, they are analyzing based on statistics. the report came out that maybe around middle April, there will be like a peak in Malaysia. So I'm hoping if if the statistic is true, I hope that after that it will go down and eventually flatten the curve. And I hope that Singaporeans, even though you are not having like MCO, movement control order, like Malaysia, I hope you guys can already practice the same measures as what Malaysia has implemented. Like do not go out if it is not necessary, practice hygiene, hand washing more frequently, wearing your mask, because Singapore is small,
Yeah.
and when it is small, I think you ought to spread it a lot more faster than us.
I mean, for Singapore, we are heavily relying on contact tracing to so-called reduce the spread of the virus lah. I don't know about you guys, but the Singapore Police Force is involved. They are doing all the investigations. So for me, I have high faith that through contact tracing, that we can reduce the spread of the virus lah. Any final word from you?
Take care of yourself, practice social distancing, practice good hygiene. Do not share your food, do not share your drinks with other people. Wear your mask.
For me, I want to thank all the frontline staff lah. Those are involved in the operations to reduce the spreading of the COVID-19 and though morale has been low, I hope that we will definitely get through this. We will definitely get through this lah. And yeah, wishing everybody all the best. Stay safe during your shifts. Also for Malaysia, special shout out, Selamat Hari Polis.
Belated.
Happy belated Police Day to all our PDRM officers. Yeah, being a volunteer police officer in the Singapore Police Force for myself, I feel for them because they're out on the streets, doing the roadblocks and managing the movement control order. Definitely a uphill task for them lah. They never get to celebrate the Police Day lah. I don't know if Singapore Police Force will get to celebrate our 200th anniversary coming soon. Thank you everyone for tuning into this broadcast. We are doing this through Skype. So one of the measures is to work from home, right? So this is the measure that we have to take lah. Using technology to reduce contact with each other at work. So-called social distancing. So that's it for the broadcast. And we will see you in the next one.